Hello, brave people of the world. So, war is going on in Ukraine by Russian aggression. Today, Deputy Minister of Defense of Ukraine, Hanna Malar, reported that the Russians deployed more troops in Ukraine's east, but the Ukrainian forces did not let them advance. Quote, the situation in Ukraine's east is complicated at the moment. The Russians have deployed their forces there, conducted an active offensive in the Liman-Kupiansk front, trying to seize the initiative. So we see Ukrainians try to find the weakest place, and then still most of our battalions and brigades are in reserve. So we're just trying to find this weak point, and also Russia prepared for Ukrainian counterattack, and we are like by hammer and the wall, but only the first line is of Russian defense is strong. So many experts are saying that after we crash in one place the wall, then everything will be just destroyed. I hope so, and glory to our soldiers who are fighting with these Russian demons. So, Russian media says Baluki in Belgorod Oblast under heavy fire. It's very good that Ukrainians are bombing Russian territories. Actually, West, who is giving us weapons, made a red lines that Ukrainian forces cannot go through Russian territory. But when during the Second World War, Allies were fighting Hitler, actually they came to German territory. I think as many red lines will become green lines. Putin's press secretary Peskov, actually liar, comments on Russian decision not to allow a United Nations mission to left bank of Kherson Oblast, which is underwater. I don't know exactly the peculiarities, but there are a lot of issues: how to cross the contact line, ensuring security. There is constant spelling provocation. It's just a lie. Russia doesn't want to show the world genocide against our people, and today just news came that many, like hundreds of Ukrainians in occupied Oleshki died because Russians' refusal to evacuate them after blowing up Kakhovka hydroelectric station. According to preliminary data, more than 500 residents of temporarily occupied village of Oleshki on the left bank of Kherson Oblast and the left bank of Dnipro River died because the Russians blowing up of the Kakhovka hydroelectric power plant. The people died because the Russians refused to evacuate those who did not have a Russian issued passport. So you see, we can say even it's like mortars and loyal people for our country. God rest in peace, their souls. So just risking their life to keep Ukrainian citizenship and keep Ukrainian passports, they lost their life 500, and it's officially probably it's more. Russia must be destroyed. Russia is making genocide, and all those crimes are acts against humanity. So the war must be ended by destroying Russia. Each Russian soldier, each Russian demon which on Ukrainian territory must be killed or just leave the country. If they're not leaving, they must be killed. China confirms it won't supply weapons to Russia. Blinken promised. I don't blame China. It's a authoritarian regime. They can promise whatever you want, but they never keep their promises. Soviets did like that, Hitler did like that, and China. China is cruel for their own citizens, and it's cruel for international policy. China, Russia, Iran understand only strength and power. If you just talk to them, they think you are weak. This is the point which West must understand. New Montenegrin president promised to keep supporting for Ukraine. Jakub Milatovic became a new president of Montenegro, and on the meeting with the Ukrainian ambassador Oleg Gerasimenko, Milatovic had pointed out the Montenegro opened doors for Ukrainian refugees, providing them with shelter, medical care, and access to the labor market. Quote, Montenegro will continue to support Ukraine as it has done so far. Thank you. Hvala. It's thanks on Montenegrin language. So, U.S. F-16 defense manufacturer ready to train Ukrainian pilots. It's ready. You promised us this F-16 even, I think, in February or March, and just now ready. You should, until today, you should finish preparing our pilots. If you would have F-16 now, the counterattack would go so fast. And this night, Russian invaders, attacked many cities and villages in Ukraine, like Berislav. It's close to Kherson. It's on the right bank of Dnipro, and also Lviv in the western part of Ukraine, and Kyiv. So Russia is still able to provide more and more missiles, rockets, and to kill our civilians. Also, we saw that our commander-in-chief, Zaluzhny, came to the front line, and he published a video on the planning operations with other generals. Yeah, we're proud of our General Zaluzhny, and God bless him. He's a great man. Ukrainian parliament proposed to recognize Belarus as an aggressor state and break the diplomatic relations. Oh my God, you should do this even 2 years ago. Lukashenko is a dictator and killer. He killed so many citizens of Belarus, I think in 2020. He didn't believe in COVID. Many people died in demonstration. He actually lost his elections. People voted for opposition candidate. But yeah, dictator didn't recognize this, killed many people, arrested many people, and so on. Ukraine, and from the beginning of war in 2022, many missiles, rockets were bombing Ukraine from Belarus territory, which is declaring the war, and Russian troops, which launch attack against Kyiv in February 2022. They came from Belarus. So, whole the world, I don't want to see any Belarusian sport team in playing, or any, dictatorship must be closed. Actually, it's occupied by Russia. I don't think that now Belarus is like independent country, just part of, it's occupied by Russian forces. Transfer of Ukrainian prisoners of wars to Hungary was driven by Orban's political interests, said Dmytro Kuleba, Ukraine's Minister of Foreign Affairs. There was one simple goal. Viktor Orban had to show Hungarians, both inside and outside Hungary, that he is their sole defender. This whole operation was implemented in the political interests of one person. So, yeah, I'm very thankful to many of my friends from Hungary who wrote me, but government is just part of European Union and the great supporter of Russia and a member of NATO. Now, this Orban, you will see the Orban will come for his history as a cooperator with aggressor, cooperator with dictatorship. Thanks to President Macron, President of France, he announced deployment of SAMP system in Ukraine. So far, the all news for now. I hope all our civilians are in safety because it was massive Russian attack this night. It's still going on for Lviv, Kiev, and Berislav, and of course other regions closer to Russia. War must be ended, and decision must make very fast. Russia must be destroyed. Glory to Ukraine, glory to Ukrainian soldiers, and be brave as Ukraine.